I want to shift the conversation a little bit now and talk about your overall strategy on TikTok. I think you're probably around like 60,000 followers right now, somewhere in that ballpark. It looks like your account's been growing relatively quickly. I want to know if you have any tips for the audience, any general TikTok tips. What are you seeing working right now on the platform?
Absolutely. So for me, I was actually hitting a bit of a lull around the 36K mark. I spent, I think, 2 weeks. I think I sent you a message, or I was talking to some TikTok people, like, does anyone else feel like the algo's working against them right now? And I was really hitting a lull. And so I decided to do, so I guess one TikTok tip I would give is to look back, make sure every now and then you're doing an analysis on what videos are working, what aren't, and why you think that might be. What are the similarities? So I looked back and I noticed that one of the big things for my type of content where I'm telling business stories is people love to hear about creators that they know about, and they find that a lot more interesting in general than different startups that are just on the rise. So whereas me, a business junkie, I can read a long email about some startup that just did a big raise and I'll find it really engaging. But for a lot of the average viewers or people that are just starting to get into the creator economy, they want to hear about, for example, how Dylan LeMay turned making ice cream into $1.5 million because they know Dylan LeMay, or at least they've seen him make ice cream on TikTok, and it hooks people in. So that was one thing, is I did an analysis on what videos of mine were working well and what weren't, and doubling down. I think another thing too was trying to think of different formats for my videos throughout the week. And that way, it's not like I'm having to come up with a million different ideas every week and being super abstract. I want to figure out what are a couple formats where I can create some content that I can replicate. I can keep it entertaining each week. It's not like it's something that is a one-timer, and it gets people to come back to your TikTok channel, because the channel account, I'm not even sure what they call it, but it gets them to come back because they know what to expect. They also get to see different types of things. And versus on YouTube, where a lot of bigger creators will have different channels, I think the amount of volume you put on TikTok is big enough that it's okay to have slightly different formats if that's what you're interested in, because ultimately people are following you for you. And so you kind of have a bit more freedom in that way to try out different types of things. And I think one extra point there too is I really learned the power of storytelling. So there's a big difference between storytelling and reporting, where I notice where I'm just reporting on facts, it may not be as engaging. But if I'm telling a story where there's a protagonist and a start and an end, it makes people want to watch the entire video all the way through. And I noticed that made a big difference.
That's such a great tip. And there's two things I want to touch on too. One, your kind of stall at 36,000. I want to talk about that. And then the second one was where you mentioned, the videos that did really well for you were the ones where you're talking about a relevant creator, or like something that's, culturally relevant. Because I seem to see the same thing. Like, those are the videos that do really well. Like, you and I were in a similar space. And, if I talk about something that's like a very specific, like, creator tip, or I get deep in some like creator economy news, that has a lot less of a chance of going viral than like your one video, the Dude Perfect video, right? Which I forget how many views I got, but it absolutely blew up. And you just find a way to tell a story with like a relevant character that everyone knows about, and you can get so much more awareness doing it.